McCarty brats will be getting ready for their summer vacations. Oh, I'm sure they're gonna be going to all kinds of extravagant places. Just thinking about those little summer slackers makes me hotter than the vinyl seats on my dad's old station wagon on a hot day. I can picture that Adam and Ashley McCarty getting ready for some expensive vacation with their dad Dennis.
Oh, this year we're going to Paris, France, so we can see the Eiffel Tower.
Will you don't parlez-vous français? When I was a kid, the only tower we ever saw was that crappy water tower at the Detroit Zoo. And after 5 hours of walking around that smelly place, the only way we wanted to see that tower was in the rear view mirror when we was leaving. We'd spend the whole day walking around that smelly zoo, throwing peanuts at animals that was too drugged to even move. And then we'd get sneezed on by goats and stung by bees. But we didn't care. We loved it because we was happy to go anywhere. And I bet those little spoiled spazzes are going to want to go ride that bullet train in France. Well, they wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes on that zoo train. When you went into the tunnel at the Detroit Zoo, you'd get hit in the head, kicked, and pelted with peanuts. You'd be lucky to get out of there alive. But we didn't care. We loved it, because at the end we got a souvenir. And I'm sure that little demonic duo is going to want to go to those beaches in South France. When I was a kid, the only beach I ever went to was the Kensington Metro Park. And all that was a dirty, rancid swamp with a lifeguard stand in front of it. Well, they should have changed the sign that said 4-foot floatable area to just read toilet, because there'd be a bunch of kids peeing in the water. We'd spend hours swimming around in other people's feces, but we didn't care. We loved it, because it taught us to swim with our mouths closed. So you let Dennis McCarty take those 2 little brats to his fancy vacation. And then when they come back, they can spend all their time telling everybody all about their trip. Well, I'm going to take an old-fashioned vacation this summer, and I'm not going to have to tell anybody where I was, because they'll know where I went on my vacation, because I'll have some crappy souvenir. I'll be covered in goat vomit and have peanut shells in my hair. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna smell like poop.
Detroit radio sportscaster Mark Andrews. And if you're like me, you love sports memorabilia. Well, we have a treat for you. As the first time ever, the public will get a chance to purchase items from the Mike McCarty Sports Memorabilia Collection. Mike has accumulated many rare sports treasures that are now available to you. First of all, we have the Brett Hall Street Hockey Stick. Actually, this was an actual game stick used by the Golden Brett, but Mike needed a street hockey stick, so he sawed off the end and put a plastic blade on it. The regular value for a Brett Hall game stick is $600, but because of this modification, you can now get this stick for $7.25. Mike also had an autographed Don Mossy baseball from the 1961 Detroit Tigers seasons. Mike drilled a hole in it so he could use it as a pencil holder. He also drew a neat picture of Fred Flintstone on it. Unblemished, this ball would sell for $300. But because of Mike, you can pick this beauty up for $1.75. And lastly, we have a genuine autographed hockey jersey by Gordie Howe, Detroit Red Wing star. Actually used in a game. Unfortunately, Mike needed some hand towels, so he cut up the jersey. Normal price for a Gordie Howe jersey? Over $1,500. Now, because of Mike, you can get these hand towels for $2.25. And that's not all, folks. We have a barbecue mitt made from a Ray Oyler baseball mitt and a piece of sod that may have come from the 1968 World Series. Call Kaladi Enterprises now to order 1-900-K-TONY.
Well, guess what? I'm not the baby in the family anymore. Now that my little cousin Megan is around, I guess I'm just another grand brat. Ooh, just thinking about that little Megan makes me hotter than the time my dad mixed up the Desitin with the Bengay. And I hear that Megan had a big baptism party with la-dee-da. You know who came to my baptism? Nobody. In fact, those rotten parents of mine had to pay some homeless people $5 to say they were my godparents. I feel like an unwanted penny, but I didn't care. I loved it. And I bet after the baptism, Uncle Steve and Aunt Kristen threw a big fancy schmancy party with peach cobbler and everything. Oh, we had a real big party for me, too. Those crappy parents of mine strapped me in my car seat and drove around till I fell asleep. And then they went to the drive-thru at Fatburger. I went to sleep with a pacifier in my mouth and woke up to the stench of chili burgers and orange pop. But I didn't care. I loved it. I was just glad the smell wasn't coming from me. Well, you give little Megan her fancy party and don't even give me a thought. While you're having the time of your life, I'll be here in California playing in the garbage and peeing in my pants, just like my new